Joker was undoubtedly 2019's biggest hit. It broke the box office record to become the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. Joaquin Phoenix won a Best Acting Oscar for his portrayal of the clown, and the movie resonated with a lot of the audience. But Joker wasn't a perfect movie. If you want my review on it, then you can click the top right icon. Because in this video, I want to discuss the character of Arthur Fleck and what made him work within the confined space of Todd Phillips Gotham, and why many audience members were able to connect with a character that was beyond human emotions. In a previous video, I said that the best villains are the ones that you understand. They are the ones that their circumstances can happen to anyone. In Joker, Arthur Fleck plays that role. He is a character that is vulnerable throughout the movie, and he is constantly being subjected to bad situations. From the scene where he gets pummeled by the board that was stolen from him, to the revelation that he was adopted.
Mother adopted you while she was working for us.
That's not true.
These moments heap an emotion towards Arthur because we put ourselves in his shoes and feel the pain he is going through. This is because we see Gotham through his eyes. All Arthur wanted to do was just make people smile. It is that innocence in him that makes him endearing. At the beginning, there wasn't any malice, just desperation to do what he loves. But with each bad situation stacked up against him, with each vulnerability exposed, Arthur falls into a spiral of hate towards Gotham's elite. The element of failure that surrounds Arthur makes the task of caring for him a lot easier. We don't see him as the Joker. We just see him as a man trying to survive in a city designed for people like him to fail. That city is another contributing factor of Arthur's descent from humanity. Arthur lives in the poor area of Gotham. He lives where people are seemingly forgotten, which is one of the themes in the movie. Arthur states to his counselor that he did not know whether he even existed, and even when he says that, he is ignored by the counselor that is trying to help him. The city that is supposed to protect Arthur is against him. From the rich elites like Thomas Wayne, to the people who are supposed to be his friends, and to those who even try to help. That city is collapsing over Arthur. A city that feels like there are no escapes. That same city that has divided its citizens from the rich and the poor. In the beginning of the film, we hear a radio talk show where one civilian complains that all of Gotham will look like the slums.
Even the nicest sections of the city are looking like slums.
That first scene tells us that the elites only react when it affects them. That is the frustration for Arthur. That is why he is not compassionate with the killings of the 3 Wayne Enterprise employees, because those 3 get the publicity and outcry from men like Thomas Wayne. But the death of Sophie Drummond or Randall are never heard about again. They don't get the publicity as the 3 Wayne employees. It is as Arthur states.
It was me dying on the sidewalk, you'd walk right over me.
When the elites are affected, then Gotham reacts. Arthur is a symbol for those living in poverty without a voice. He gave those civilians who had enough a chance to make an impact. But even when they do get that voice, it is through humiliation, not integrity. Arthur only gets on the Murray show because he was laughed at by the TV host. If it wasn't for the public reaction to the clip of Arthur, Murray would have never got him on the show. This would have been another stamp of embarrassment towards Arthur.
Inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me.
There is no doubt that Arthur is bad. To kill is never the option, but the Joker is a tale of when someone is pushed too far that they feel like they cannot return. Arthur embodies every soul in Gotham that feels like they have been betrayed by the people who can actually help them out. It is that simplicity in its storytelling that makes the movie accessible to the audience. People feel like they're being ignored by the same people who are supposedly looking out for them. That is a feeling many of us have towards our government or bosses. No one likes being ignored. And Arthur embodies that loneliness within Gotham. He loses his job, he is abandoned by 2 father figures in his life, Thomas Wayne and Murray, and finds out his mother isn't actually his real mother. Arthur is alone in the dense world of Gotham. Sure, the film sometimes feels like it wants to pat itself on the back for telling this kind of story, but it is a story that is important for a lot of individuals. And it is an important story for director Todd Phillips, who decided to make this film because he could no longer, in his eyes, make comedies. But what is important is that comedies are inherently tragic. They use the misfortune of someone to be the butt of the joke. Arthur in Gotham was the butt of the joke.
New act, Arthur? If your dancing doesn't do the trick, you're just gonna shoot yourself?
Never catching a break until he rose up and decided to act on his animalistic anger. What is fascinating though is the act of killing wasn't pre-planned. Those 3 Wayne employees could have been anyone and Arthur would have pulled the trigger. The question is, what would the reaction of Gotham be? It would be the same as the death of Sophie and Randall. No one would bat an eye. In the end of Joker, Arthur becomes a figure of a backwards justice that he doesn't believe in. He's just happy to be noticed. Or that's what Arthur would want you to believe. We see that he mustered up the relationship between Sophie Drummond and himself, and in one of his hallucinations, Sophie says that the 3 who died deserved it. Yeah, Arthur says this to Murray.
That's right, Murray. I'm not political. I'm just trying to make people laugh.
But deep down, he believes in the sick justice he has created. Arthur becomes a symbol in this world that dominoes to create the one thing that can stop his justice, and that is true justice. But the people of Gotham do not have that yet. All they have is Arthur. And with what Arthur gave them, the citizens form a tribe-like mentality, and us against them. This is symbolized in the score composed by Hilda. When we closely listen to the theme for Arthur, it sounds like tribal drums being beaten in the background, as if the citizens of Gotham are readying themselves for battle. The clown mask is their uniform which they wear with pride, and as Arthur said earlier, people may have passed him on the street if he was dead, but not people who are uprising against the same men who let them and who let Arthur down. Arthur becomes their leader, a symbol of upsetting the establishment. Todd Phillips' Joker isn't comparable to the movies it homages with the influence seen throughout the film. But after my 3rd time watching Joker, my appreciation goes to Todd Phillips and the team behind him. To make a character that defies logic or even emotions relatable is an achievement. Joker, or should I say Arthur, is a vulnerable character that is put in a harsh world that chews people like him up. But the question is, do you smile and spit in the face of those who have wronged you? Or do you stand up to become more than the hollow shell that was left on its knees? You decide.